Hello everybody, this is Dee and welcome to my channel, Dee Plans and Budgets. I am so incredibly grateful that you took some time out of your day-to-day to spend with me. We are going to do an oldie but goodie cash stuffing today. I'm going to do nothing else with it because I want to spend today talking a little bit more about the cash stuffing system. Savings challenges are fun. I love doing savings challenges. I am so getting into like these build-a-farms and these boxes and randomizers, and I absolutely love it. But this here, these two binders, are the meat and potatoes of my budget. Let's first talk about this binder. This is what I call my variable spending binder. Some people would call it their cash wallet. And I stuff this primarily in actual cash. I spend a mixture of cash and credit card. I always will take some cash with me to the grocery store, but then sometimes I want to use the self-checkout and I have to use my card. So I always have some of this cash with me, but I often use my card and then I just take it out and reimburse the credit card at the end of the month. The one that I do not stuff in cash is my gas, and that's simply because I just don't have time, or let's be honest, patience to, take my money into the store, give it to the cashier, go back out, pump my gas, go back into the store, get my change, etc. I also don't like not filling up my tank every time. So yes, I know I could just take a 20 in there, give it to them, pump my 20 and be gone. But then I'm taking more trips to the gas station than I would like, and I don't like to do that either. So I use my credit card for that. If you are in a cash budgeting system, because you are trying to control some spending issues, then don't use your credit card, do the cash. It's going to pay off for you every time. This is something that pretty much everyone has in their budgeting system. I've had this in my budgeting system for years and years and years. What I didn't have until a few years ago, which is what brought me to this whole cash stuffing experience, was sinking funds. I had never heard of sinking funds. These are really, for me, they were, shall I say, life-changing. My entire life, I would budget and money that was left over would just go into one account. But I was always afraid to spend it because I was always afraid something would come up, so to speak, right? Well, those things that were coming up, like Christmas or car insurance or HOA fees, etc., those things that were coming up, I knew they were coming, right? But I wasn't accounting for them every month. So all that money would go in the savings account. And then I was afraid to spend it for something like vacation because I always felt I needed it there for the things that would come up unexpectedly. That's what sinking funds are. You sit down at the beginning of the year and you figure out all those expenses that tend to surprise us. What do I have that comes out annually? Maybe annual subscriptions. HOAs are a fantastic sinking fund. An escrow short if you own a house, so you have the money for that escrow short, which we all have every single year. Christmas is a huge one for so many people. I save for new planners and new budgeting supplies, the necessary ones, because those are an essential part of living my life. Maybe you have an annual like a life insurance policy, whatever. These are what you use your sinking funds for. So you take those amount, let's say that equals $10,000 a year, you divide it by your amount of paychecks, and then you make sure that each category gets stuffed. Some people will call this a dated binder, a non-dated binder. I refer to these as my budgeted sinking funds, and then I have this binder here, which is my low priority sinking funds. This one is important as well. I have a mini emergency in here that's very important. However, items that were in this binder, clothes, spending some money on Amazon, etc. These are things that I could wait if I have to. So I call those my low priority. They get stuffed with leftover money in my budget. This baby, I account money for it every single month because I have to get these things stuffed. Now, many people would not put vacations in their high priority needed binder. I do, because these are about the quality of my life. But then again, I also have things like medical expenses, HOA, escrow short. So these are just things that for me are so important that they get budgeted before there's money for anything else, right? I pay my bills. I do my variable accounts, and then I do my high priority sinking funds. When I have money left over, that can go to various other categories, like my low priority sinking funds, my saving for next year, travel, my new travel binders. But these are the things that are funded within my budget, absolutely positively first. So I hope that didn't bore too many people, but I grew, it took me 18 months to grow 1,000 subscribers, and it's taken me 6 months to grow 987 more. So I realized that there are people watching my videos that have not ever listened to me talk about these two binders and how I use them within my budget. And so I thought it was really important to do that today. Let's get stuffing though. I pre-filled the trackers for this binder. I have not pre-filled them for the other one. These are stuffed with prop money because this money builds up. I build the money up and then I take it out and use it. I build the money up and I take it out and use it. I do not want these larger amounts of cash sitting in my house, posing a security risk, and I definitely want them in the bank making me money. How much are we stuffing today? 1, 50, 2, 50, 70, 90, 300, 5, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Realize I got to put these two together. All right. You'll see when we get in here that some of these have, quite a large amount in there, and that's why it's so important that I don't just leave this sitting in envelopes. This is my vacation binder. This is for vacations, flights to the Pacific Northwest to go see family and friends, or if I want to take a trip somewhere that's going to be hoteled or different than like a camping trip. So vacations has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 57, 750, 77, 790, 795, 797, 799. Exactly what it's supposed to have in there. Let me do a tiny bit more sort quick since I'm starting off with the prop money. All right, van travel. This is camping trips. My big summer trip, which I'm not doing this year, but this is how I save for it. And for those of you who are newer, the reason I'm not doing summer trips this year is I realized this was the year I needed to make connections, make friends. I use this for camping trips. This is going to take a big hit this coming month because I'm going to go to Branson for 5 days and the money will come out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 150, 250, 60, 1,260. Exactly what I'm supposed to have. I call that van travel. However, if I'm going to get a camper cabin or, I wouldn't rent an RV, but it's camping, basically camping. Sometimes I might just take a tent. And this money is for cruises. I am very fortunate that I love to gamble, and I am not a huge gambler, but I do get a lot of free cruises, and I also get to take someone with me for free. So this money here is to pay the port fees and the taxes, which I have to pay on those cruises, the tips, parking if I go early for a hotel, etc. That's what this money is for. And I am adding, did I add the 50? Let's see, 1, 52, 53, 54, 20, 35, and 36. Yes, I did. So this now has $436 in it. This money is for gadgets for my van. I have pretty much everything I need, but I am saving for the possibility of a refrigerator, which is then going to need a bigger power supply, or purchasing a 30-inch mattress. So there's a few things, none of them I need right now. My van functions really well, but these are things I might want to add in the future. The refrigerator specifically before I would go on another long trip next year to the Pacific Northwest. So going to save up, see how it goes, see how much money I have, and then whether I want to part with it or not. So van gadgets, I'm putting $2 in. I'm doing $2 because I needed to put a bunch of money in my medical this month because of an upcoming crown I have to get done. However, I like to put money every single time I stuff, even if it's $1. It gets me into this envelope. It takes those digits that are sitting in my account somewhere, it makes them real, right? So here I have money for van gadgets. If I was just swiping a credit card, it would probably be very easy for me to say, oh, let's try this, let's try that. But this makes it real. when I spend out of this, I got to come take this money out, right? It's no longer just a digit in my bank. It gives me a connection to what I have, right, to what I spend. That's why this is important. And trust me, it works with prop money. Many people, including myself, thought that it would be less than, but nope. Highly motivating. I love to watch my money grow here. And with all that talking, did I put it in? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 55, 60, 2, 4, 6, and 7. I did. So when you have, times that you can't stuff a lot, try to at least put $1 in, right? It is really going to help you stay connected with your funds. And you will see the same thing here, events. 1, 2, 53, 20, 40, 65, 67, 69, 71, and 73. This is for things like if I want to go to a theater or something. I am considering, I just got back from camping, and at one of the nearby towns, they have a local theater that's playing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Coat, and I'm really debating getting a camper cabin again at the place I just was and going to see that show. And if I do that, the money would come out of here. So the next one, miscellaneous expenses for my home. This would be small repairs. I would never, I don't need to do like a plumber or something out of here. But this would be small repairs. Right now, I think I'm going to have to go to the store and spend about $100 on some super high grade bug spray to put around the perimeter of my house. So that's the type of thing this money is for. $270. 1, 2, 20, 40, 65, 67, 69, 71, and 73. And you know what? That is right. It should be $373. All righty. My bad. And next one, electronics. Electronics are part of our lives. They're definitely a part of my life. I don't ever want to be surprised because I need to replace an iPad or a computer, so I save for it. This month it wasn't a high priority. It's getting just a little bit of money, again, in and out of my envelopes. 1, 2, 3, 50, 65, 71, 2. $372 in that category. For my planners, it is getting close to the time of year I'm going to be buying my planners. They release the 18-month mid-year, and then they go on sale. And I often buy those planners because then I get some extra sheets of paper and stuff because I only use them for the next year. $3 going into this, 20, 45, 52, 4, 5, and 6. These are not for things like stickers. Although stickers feel necessary to me, they really are not. And I use my crafting or my hobbies money to do that. I can make stickers, I can buy stickers, etc. But those are not necessarily a needed item, but I save for the actual planner itself. That is necessary in my life. I can put you in my phone all day, I will not show up. If you're written in my planner, I will be there. So budgeting, same thing here. This is for the things I actually need when I'm budgeting. Like if I need new binders, printing supplies to print trackers, etc. This is not for, new games and savings challenges, etc. I have a low priority savings for that. Perfectly fine, but this is for the budgeted items that I need. It's getting $4. I actually spent some the other day, so 50, 65, 67, 69, 71, 73, and $75. Again, I actually need to keep binders and envelopes wear out, etc. Now, in my medical, I am putting $100 in here. This medical is going to get wiped out at the end of the month, as is my Life Happens emergency fund, because I need $1,255 for a crown. 1, 2, 53, 50, 65, 75, 76, and 77. I am incredibly happy that I have so much in my mini emergency because it keeps me from having to use my actual medical emergency fund. I can always use that if I need to, but I can now just keep it tucked safe and sound in its little CD and let it continue to grow because I had the money saved otherwise. HOA is getting $18, and that's going to bring it to $214, $1, $50, $60, $70, $80, $95, $2, $5, $7, $9, $11, $12, $13, and $14. I pay my HOA all in one lump sum at the beginning of the year. This is an escrow short. For those who are not homeowners, you're probably not aware that when you pay your mortgage, you pay a little bit each month towards your property taxes and your insurance. And they take out what is the expected bill plus a 6-month reserve, which they always keep on hand. Well, most of my life, I can count on, well, less than one hand, the amount of years my property taxes didn't go up in a home. And so every year, because they're only allowed to collect what was the last year's amount, every year you have a short in your property taxes. If you are not prepared for that, then you have to pay that back. If you can't afford it in one lump sum, they'll add that to your payment plus what your new payment is, and it can be quite a bump in your mortgage. I save for my escrow short every single month. In Texas, we have what's called a homestead. So you know your property is only going to go up 10% in certain things. So I can predict fairly well the most that my property taxes may go up. So when I get that short, I take this money out, I send it in. I do not have to pay an increase in my tax bill. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 65, 70, 75, and 80. Okay, and then this is spent. As I said, I spend this money on my credit card and I pay it back. That concludes that binder. All right, next, let's get into my variable spending. I'm going to do 2 miscellaneous things first before we count the cash. Let's go to my gas bill. Uh-oh, it came out. And this is gas for my car. Sorry, driving around. So let's go to gas. And let's take this and the tracker out. I'm going to be putting $100 in here today. I have the next tracker ready. And tracking is another thing I am passionate about. Let's talk about this for a minute. This might get a little controversial, and it is okay if you agree with me. Perfectly fine. But if you are just putting money in groceries and putting money in whatever your categories are, and then spending them till they're gone, but not tracking what you're spending, you're budgeting a little bit, but 3 months from now, if you had let's say a change in your pay, would you be able to go back and figure out what you were actually spending on groceries or what you were actually spending on gas? Answer's probably going to be no. Right? So if you are just spending, taking the excess out, putting it towards savings challenges and stuff, well, I'm going to applaud you because you're controlling what you're spending. But when it came time to make the new budget, like I said, let's say you had a change in income that went down, etc., would you know where you're spending your money? I think tracking is incredibly important. If you don't want to do it every time you spend, I understand people don't have time, right? But well, like I said, controversial subject. I think it's incredibly important. I'm going to demonstrate it to you in multiple ways within my budget. So I am putting this $100 into this category here. This is gas in my car. So now I'm going to have $156 in here. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 91, 10, 25, 35, 40, 2, 4, 6, 8, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 156. This is in my variable binder. However, I do carry this over. Sometimes, depending on when if I fill my tank on the 1st, I'm probably going to have to fill it 3 to 4 times that month. If I don't need to fill it until the 5th or 6th, I'm probably going to fill it less. So I just carry that money over. This $25 here, this is the last time this will go, and this is for my collab with Jenny at Simply Living Saves. We're doing a collaboration together, and this is the money for that. I'm going to put it right here for right now because it's not, there's no envelope for it. It's not a regular expense I have. Okay, I've got this here and I've got room to do my trackers. Let's move this over a little bit. Let's count the money. I'm going to have you trust me that I have 35 ones here. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 240, 50, 60, 70, 80, 93, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, and 35 ones. That should equal 405. If everything equals out when I stuff my envelopes, will know it's correct. And spoiler alert, I know it's correct because I've checked it like 3 times. Okay, so in my grocery bill, I am putting $150. Now, when I say I know it's correct, it doesn't mean I'll do everything right when I stuff, but for now I know it's correct. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 30, 40, 5, sorry, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. 150. This should leave us with 160. And by us, I mean me, but it feels like you're here with me. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 55, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. So I did something wrong. Well, you know what? I'm going to put this 10 back. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 45, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. I probably just grabbed an extra 10. I'll be honest, I don't do a cash thing that tells me how many each bill to get, and so sometimes I probably get confused. I'll catch it on editing. I'll make it right. In my eating out, I am going to be depositing $25, but it's going to leave me with only 24 because I'm going to take $1 right out when I'm done. 10, 15. Did I do it this way? 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I got to take $1 out for my spent. I'll show you that in a minute. 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4 is what's going to be left in this envelope. I've got one more that's a -2, and so we'll put it there. And it can be negative because I spent it on my credit card, and my credit card's not due yet. All right, household. And I messed this up, so I'm going to go back and talk about it again. This household is for toilet paper, paper towels, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste. I don't use fancy of any of those things, and so the money I put in here a month can usually buy those. If I needed some extra to stock up on some extra things, like sometimes face creams and stuff, that's what my extra Amazon for is in my low priority. I can spend the money out of there. I put $30 in here today, and so now I have $20, $35, $36, and I reversed it when I wrote it down. And I'm probably going to need some, I think, paper towels before the end of the month. Basically, these two together I used to have in one category, groceries and household, as consumables. And it was, in my mind, it was things basically that I always spent at the grocery store, where I buy most of my, shampoos and conditioners and stuff. In miscellaneous, I am going to put $40. And I have $40 in there. I think I put 2 20s. If not, it'll work. 20, 40, 60, and 80. Miscellaneous. I could take, for instance, my bug spray out of here if I wanted to, but it may be more than I have this month because I need to get the high quality bug spray. This is my little monthly travel that I do. And okay, I just realized, hold on. All right, cutting back in. I need to fix this. I only put 35 in here this time. I put 40 last time, 35 this time. 35, 75, 20, 40, 60, 75. I have a sheet of paper over here that it's written on, but I didn't bother looking. And I just put down what was on the tracker for last time. That was not correct. Okay, now my travel. This is getting $40. That must be where I messed up. So 20, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And $2 of this is going to the spent category, which is going to leave me $38. 20, 35, 36, 37, and 38. This is the gas that I bought for that trip. And again, it was on my credit card, so I just left it as a negative. I knew I'd be stuffing. Hobbies. Crafts. This is usually craft supplies, if I'm being honest. Those stickers that I was talking about, although I've been doing really, really good this year and hardly buying stickers. So I'm really actually quite proud of myself for that. $35 is going in here, so it should have a total of $75. $20, $40, $50, $60, $70, and $75 into my hobbies. Excellent. And social group. This is my entertainment. I have drastically increased the amount that goes into this. And let's get a new tracker here. So social group. I need to make friends and connections, and I need to be entertained when I am not traveling, staying at home for longer periods of time. So this is a vitally important category to me. I am putting $90 in here this time. I significantly increased this because I noticed I was not doing some functions because I didn't have the money in my budget to do them. So I am upping my budget, and I cut it in other places because this is a high priority for me. So it is getting 20, 30, 40, 5, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. I wanted to make sure this was my last category. I suspected it was. The total in here should be 125, 20, 30, 40, 55, 65, 70, and I'm not going to count all those. 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, and these definitely look like 25. I'm not going to count all this for you. I know it's 125. I will tell you one thing I did this month. If you see this withdrawal, is I took that $30 and I put it, I'm sorry. One thing I did differently this month, and it's been nice, is I took a $50 withdrawal and I put that in my purse, and I've been spending that for my social functions. And guess what? All my walking around money is still there. Remember, I told you I suspected I was using my walking around money to fund a lot of my social events. And the walking around money is the only money within my budget that I have to just spend without tracking, without anything. It's my mad money. And when I don't spend it, it goes to buy things that I wouldn't normally buy. It's my total mad money. I wanted to separate it. So I increased this budget. I'm keeping it in my purse. You won't necessarily see that on my weekly spending because I'm not tracking it. I'm not, necessarily keeping track that I paid, $5 cover charge or whatever to get into dance lessons. But you will see it at the end of the month because I will track all the money I took out, and I know it's gone to social group. I keep it in a separate place in my wallet. This is where I keep my walking around cash, but I already stuffed it all. Now, if we go to the back of here, I have 2 envelopes. One is spent and one is spent prop money. This is for the gas. And this is the money that I have spent so far this month that needs to get paid back to the credit card. It goes there. If I used cash, it doesn't get paid back. The other few things I have in this binder, I stuff for lawn care every month and pay it out of here. Bills buffer, I live in the South. Therefore, my electricity bill and my water bill are far higher in the summer, but that's okay because I budget the same amount every month. I put the excess in that envelope and I can take it out when my bills are higher and I don't have that much money in my budget. So I hope that you enjoyed this good OG cash stuffing and the talking about some of these categories. If you were an older person of mine, I am perfectly okay if you skipped through it. I understand that. But if you are a newer person and wanted to get a little bit more insight into my budget, this is it, and I'm so glad you joined me. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, all those wonderful things. Sit back, watch silently without doing anything. I don't care. I am grateful for any support that you give me. Take a walk if you can, and until the next one, bye.